So, um, there is more information out there, and people did talk, and the opinion and the rumor has it that there was over 30 stab wounds to Veronica, and I think that will be released. And that paperwork you just read was originally filed on April 26th. Okay, I do believe that the DA thought it would be sealed, and when they released that on May 15th, you realize the family didn't know. They found out. I found out at 6 o'clock in the morning watching Oklahomian that that stuff was released, and I did a live just for the family because they had no idea. And I found that really tremendous and heartbreaking that the DA did not let the family know any of this information that got released before it got released. So they got to see it at the same time you did. And I find that horribly sad.
That would make a lot of sense if Veronica had that amount of stab wounds, because being killed with a knife, of course, is up close and personal. And the anger of 30 something, it's overkill, 30 something stab wounds. And the poor woman, Jillian Kelly, who was really just along, she was doing her job and wound up, being included in this double murder. Just horrific.
Right. And being boots on the ground, you hear a lot of things. And listen, people talk. These aren't your smartest criminals. Okay. I will tell you that. They did talk. When you got more than one person involved, people talk. And the other opinion that I have that seems to be pretty likely is that Jillian was hit with maybe a hatchet in the back of the head. Hers was one, is what I'm understanding. Now I haven't seen the medical examiner's report. None of that. This is stuff that is going around that I find to be true. Like I really think it's going to come out that way.
Well, on the scene, there was a blunt object recovered, a hammer, and also her glasses in the ground. So they could have, rendered them unconscious or whatever on the scene of, where they forced them off the road, uh, and then completed the job in the field where they were ultimately buried in that ice chest. And in any event, all of those things are horrific. But if we go back to this on the scene here, they recovered duct tape, a sheathed black knife with possible blood, ball caps, and cloth gloves. This belongs to the perpetrators, no doubt. And when you talk about linkage in a crime scene, if that blood belongs to the victims, which of probably 100% it does, and they do DNA tests on all of these other items, it nails their coffin shut. I think they have a great case against them as it is, but this evidence is like, it's incredible evidence because they were so stupid. They thought that they were smart doing, oh, let's bury them 15 feet below the ground. And then Paul Grice, another rocket scientist, he is out asking friends, how long does DNA evidence last below the ground? Obviously, this guy's never watched Criminal Minds or Police or
Right.
for that matter, because he would know that basically forever, dude. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
I do want to add something to that. In that same paperwork, because I have it right here, 2 pairs of Wrangler blue jeans was in there, and 2 sweatshirts was in there, covered in blood. So there was even more stuff in there, and the gun. There was a gun in there.
Now, did that gun belong to Jillian Kelly? Because they said
Well,
she always packed and she had a clip or a magazine in her purse, but no gun. So do we know if that potentially was her gun and she was disarmed on the scene?
I think it's potentially her gun, but we won't know that until court comes around. But I would say potentially it's her gun.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, just the whole way that these two were ambushed and the premeditation and the planning. This was almost like a military operation, except by 5 idiots. And the
Right.
other thing that really gets me crazy is that they had planned to try to throw an anvil through their windshield. Like, it sounds, everyone says, "Oh, what is this, the Roadrunner cartoon?" Like, is that really a thing? Like, they're going to try to throw an anvil through the windshield of their car?
Right. And that, I do want to say something about that. I have become good friends with Debbie, and she is Wrangler's grandma from the dad's side. And Wrangler had said that to her, and she did report that to Veronica. So when that happened back in February, now I'm not going to talk a lot about Wrangler because I think he's getting the help that he needs. The 6 months of rehab is going to be the best thing that ever happened for him. Hopefully he comes out. Hopefully he's not involved with this, which I don't think he is, and he gets his kids and they have a life. But Debbie did report that to Veronica. She reported that to her attorney, and that's my understanding and my opinion. But they even stalked her, Veronica, and she had filed a couple PFAs, but something happened with the PFAs that, like one of them, she wasn't able to make it to court and continued it. And for some reason, the PFAs was never put in place. But as you know, that's a piece of paper. And to be honest, with this group of people, I don't think a PFA would have stopped him. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly Forbes from the chat, she writes, "Do you two believe this was the original plan of death, as Cora allegedly said the original plan didn't go right?" Well, one of the original plans that they had gone out at another month, a couple months before this, and they tried to get Veronica to get out of a house, and she wouldn't get out of a house. I think she knew something was amiss, and they actually